here. Bienvenue dans le 7e épisode de La vie à Bordeaux. Ria and I woke up at 3 a.m. to catch an early bus to La Rochelle, but this video is about libourne, so here's what happened. The bus missed us. We didn't miss the bus. And we're just stargazing now, and we can see the moon. I can't see. Not the moon, babe. It is the moon. Oh my god, this girl. What did we see? We got the Big Dipper. We got Orion's belt. Yeah. We got a bit of Gemini.
We got all of Orion, not just his belt.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, the bus missed us. We were early, and the bus went early, and we called customer service and everything, and we might get a refund, and we might go on the next train instead of a bus because the buses aren't unreliable. I was about to crash out. I did crash out, and we're just standing here waiting for them to call us back. Oh, no, we're gonna call. See, it's the moon. It's the moon. It's beautiful. It's the moon.
Yeah, I can't believe
We're in the train. We are going somewhere.
I never felt magic crazy as this.
We made it, and we wanted to see the sunrise, so we went over to a bridge. So pretty. I'm scared my phone will fall. We ended up going to Libourne because the next train to La Rochelle wasn't great timing, and we were ready to go on a trip somewhere, so we didn't want to waste a day. In spite of the rough morning, the gorgeous sunrise immediately made up for it.
Been a long time.
The town was so quiet since barely anything was open at that hour, so we walked until we found a little cafe to warm up with some tea and beignet.
It's been a long time that I've wandered, but through the people I have known.
So warm. It is very Halloween themed. Oh, they can't see. Whatever.
Straight and down.
We didn't know anything about this town, so we went to the Office of Tourism where we got a map of the town's sites, and we started with the Museum of Fine Arts. We spent quite some time having a lovely chat with the gallerist towards the end of our visit, and he explained that they actually had an archive of around 4,000 works of art, but not all of them were displayed due to the very limited space. Some of the pieces are from the Louvre, and honestly I would say that this little gallery was such a hidden gem. We thoroughly enjoyed and admired the pieces, and I loved how passionate the man we talked to was about his job. Among many other things, he talked about how some specific paintings were restored, his personal favorite works, and he answered some questions we had about the paintings that particularly caught our eyes. It was like a mini art history lesson.
painting as my next week, does it?
You can decide if it's like... After that, we just kept walking around, found some nice bits of architecture here and there, until we spotted a random chess table on the riverside. So we had a little break there, eating some snacks while doing crossword puzzles together. We walked everywhere on foot this day, and it was so lovely to just enjoy the spontaneous trip. Oh my gosh! The chess table! Lunch, quotation, quote-unquote lunch. It's okay.
Un vin qui ne donne pas l'ivresse, non ce n'est pas la samba que je veux.
A fun fact about this town is that according to the person we spoke to at the Office of Tourism, Libourne is the place in France where all the letters kids write to Santa get sent whenever they are addressed to Père Noël France. So essentially, this is the quote-unquote North Pole. These letters are read and sorted through by the secretaries, also known to the kids as Santa's elves. Then they write and send a letter back. It's the cutest thing. They also have a Christmas market in the town center, of course, during Christmas time. Post-exploring, we went to another cafe and sat outside for quite some time to enjoy the sun and the breeze while reading. I had a chai latte since it was autumn, and I finally finished reading Madonna in a Fur Coat. We walked around a bit more and stumbled upon a mini art exhibition where they were showing the history of Libourne through paintings. The disastrous morning aside, it was a relaxing day of art, sightseeing, and reading, which was honestly just what we needed after a long week of working in the lab.
There we go.
And right before we went home, we visited the park and did some more crossword puzzles while sitting on the benches. We're back home and it's in a reasonable hour. We're gonna have a movie night tonight, I think, with Narnia. This is probably diabolical, but I've never watched Narnia and I really want to. So she's read the book, she's never watched the movies. Also, I got this new bracelet in London right before I came here. It's so cute, I finally wore it. And I wore some like iridescent eyeshadow. Oh my god, my skin is so bad. But if you can see, the eyeshadow. The other day in Libourne, I finished Madonna in a Fur Coat finally. I was scheduled to finish that in, I don't know when I started. I think it was April or March. I was supposed to finish it in a few days, honestly, because it was not that thick of a book. But I honestly got into like a reading slump because I was studying for exams and I was studying for resits, and then yeah, so I didn't actually like pick it up and properly read it in a bit. But I finally finished it in Libourne in the weekend, and I'm really happy I finished it because it's a really good book. I would say it's super similar to White Nights by Dostoevsky, which I loved. And whenever I finish a book, I write a little review in my Notion, in my reading list on Notion, and I move it to my Goodreads. Okay, I'll read you a bit of it. It's kind of like White Nights by Dostoevsky prolonged, and I mean that both as a compliment and a criticism. And it's very I'm Not in Love by 10cc, which I'm playing right now. I don't know if you can hear it. As I've been reading it, every now and then I played a song in the background, and I played it as I was writing this review just to get into the mindset of it again. I would say it's conflictingly devastating. It was a beautiful narrative on solitude and longing. Instead of reading you the whole review, I would just say the solitude part, great execution. The writer just like lays it all out on the table and leaves nothing unturned in the main character's mind. Sometimes I felt fed up with it because honestly it's a bit, nobody understands me. I feel empty, which I mean everybody feels, which is great because it's relatable sometimes, but sometimes I got fed up with it. But at the end of the day, it is relatable to almost everybody, I would say. But sometimes it was just a little bit too much. But then about the yearning part, so before I went into reading this book, I heard a lot of recommendations about it saying that, oh, it's the epitome or like the pinnacle of yearning, and it's like about love, and it's like a man who yearns. And when I read the book, I was kind of like, I don't think there's a man who yearns. He's a bit delusional, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But no, he's not delusional. It's just that there's a fine line between delusional and yearning. Yeah, I was left a bit unconvinced by that whole part. I don't doubt that he loves his beloved Madonna in a Fur Coat, but I personally didn't fall for it as much as I did in White Nights, I would say. I feel like I'm not explaining this as well as I wrote it. It's fine. But yeah, I was still like devastated by the story, despite my doubts. As I say here, like these doubts don't reduce the quality of the writing or the quality of the story. It's just, it was unexpected because I was looking for something a bit more romantic, I guess I would say. This just didn't convince me. Like, I kind of understood Maria's point of view, and that leads me into talking about how the book talks about the fear of vulnerability. I love how the book did that because the writer writes really simplistically about that topic, but no other like elaborate or complicated or fancy words would have sufficed better or would have made it better. Like, he did it perfectly, honestly. I wrote like a lot of it in my Notion, but I'm not gonna bore you all with that. One last thing, I gave it a 4 stars out of 5. To justify that 4 stars, I would say I just felt like it was a bit long. Like I said, it was like White Nights prolonged, but I don't know if it was because I fell into reading something in the middle of it, so that kind of like negatively affected my review of the book. So I don't really know what's what. Make with that what you will. I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. But I did still love the book. Maybe if I go back to it in the future and read it faster. Taking your time with a book, I guess it helps you digest it better. But at this point, it took too long for me to finish the book, which is my fault. Which made the digestion be put into a halt. Too much of a halt. I'm yapping too much about this. But the next book I'm going to read is A Room with a View. I actually started reading it before I started reading Madonna in a Fur Coat. Kind of started at the same time, and I wanted to read it simultaneously, but it overstimulated me a bit, so I wanted to finish Madonna in a Fur Coat first. I was interested in it more than A Room with a View, but I think I'm kind of a third into the book. It's kind of an old-timey rom-com, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've heard. It was supposed to be my spring book, so I picked Madonna in a Fur Coat, A Room with a View, and The Enchanted April, which I haven't touched at all. Those 3 were supposed to be my spring books, and guess what? I didn't read it in the spring, and it's almost winter now. Well, no, it's not almost winter, it's just autumn now, but yeah, my bad. I want to finish it, and I want to start reading maybe some French books. I'm getting ahead of myself there. There's so many books to read. I'm a very slow reader, honestly. Not just because I have other stuff to do, but I'm a slow reader in general. My reading goal for this year is 10 books, and I have not reached that, but I'm doing much better than last year. 10 books is so little, but baby steps. I didn't read a lot growing up, as you can probably tell. This was my little setup, and the view outside is quite beautiful. Ria's mom is coming tomorrow, which is fun. She gets to stay with us for a week, I think. This week, it's supposed to be really rainy, but hopefully the rain is gonna go away and it's actually gonna be sunny. Because this has happened before, that the forecast was like really rainy and then the week ended up being sunny. So we're hoping for that. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm just procrastinating showering and going to bed. One last thing before I go. I just wanted to tell you guys how my experience has been going in Bordeaux. I'm really happy here. I low-key don't want to go back. Because when I go back to Southampton, I have to do placement, and it's just gonna be like really fast paced. Honestly, I'm really scared of it. And this research project period has been really refreshing. It's like a break from all the medicine-y stuff. Even though I'm still working in medicine technically, nutrition, neuro, it's all still a part of medicine, I guess. But my routine has completely changed, and I'm learning new things, doing more practical things in the lab, which takes me back to my biomed roots technically. So it's like a full circle moment. And I'm really happy to be here in Bordeaux. Like, honestly, it's been such a great experience. We've been exploring a lot, traveling a lot. I'm trying to make the most of every single day here because we only have 4 months. There's such little time left, and I'm trying to balance actually doing my research project and having a life here. And it's sad that I'm actually like kind of building a life here and I have to leave it all and go back to Southampton. But it is what it is. I'm feeling a bit melancholic about it, but I'm trying to just stay positive and enjoy the time that I have here, because without realizing I'm halfway through my time here. Yeah, but I've just been trying to appreciate whatever God gives me here, all the experience that I'm going to have and I am making here, the memories that I'm making here. Honestly, I'm having a great time. But because I'm having such a great time, I get even more and more scared of going back to Southampton. But I'll be fine. The balcony, the swirlies, and the lamppost outside, and how we can see the tram. I love it here. And I love this red couch. As you can see, I'm getting attached. And as you can see, I'm rambling because it's nighttime and I'm supposed to be going to sleep No, I'm supposed to be showering and then go back to sleep. Okay, bye.